we're back here. We're gonna go ahead and download the map onto the FT500. We are currently making sure everything's where it's supposed to be, such as injector dead time, your ignition coil dwell times, and so forth. You definitely, before you even think about starting a car, you need to make sure all your sensors are correct, in the correct settings. So to give you an example, on this car we have a primary total flow of 1,696 pounds per hour. So we need to make sure that our injector manufacturer, which is Injector Dynamics, we made sure that we have the correct injector flow inside, which is it's asking for a total flow. So also it's going to ask you for your dead times. You need to also go to the manufacturer anytime you do any kind of any car. It doesn't matter what it is. You always want to make sure that you have the correct injector settings. So now we are in the fuel injection, so we're gonna just go through everything. This is my map table. We're not gonna really have much there now, but usually when it's connected to the car, you'll see most of your other sensors that are in red right now, they'll be on if they're working correctly. Same thing with the fuel injection and ignition coils. Went ahead and went to our outputs, correct? That is our outputs of the wiring. So in this case we have our blue outputs 1 through 8. Obviously, as you can see here, Mike, I don't know if you can zoom in a little bit on this. I want to show them. Even though you have your blue outputs 1 through 8, do not assign them thinking that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, you know what I'm saying, for the cylinders. In this case, you see cylinder 1 is 1, cylinder 2 is actually blue output number 2 is actually cylinder 3, and so forth. So you want to make sure that all that is correct in their firing order, because if not, also same thing, you're going to have an issue that the car's not going to start. Same thing goes with your gray outputs. You see gray output number 1 is actually, in our case, is going to be ignition number 7. So just make sure that your wiring is in accordance with the way you're going to set it up here. It really doesn't matter which way you do it. It's just making sure that you have all the firing orders correct. And in this case, we have our yellow outputs, which is number 1 is correct. It's nitrous output 1, nitrous output 2, and then we have our gear shift and our radiator fan. So that's pretty much it. We're gonna go ahead and everything looks correct. We're gonna go ahead and go to our right ECU. We want to add it to map number 1 because this is gonna be our first map. It's gonna go ahead and do its thing. So there it goes. It's in there now, so we're good to go. So now the map is inside the ECU. One thing that is extremely important, guys, is when you're doing a download of a map or anything, that when you're connecting with the Fueltech, please make sure that you have enough power supplied to your USB ports, because there is some computers that may not have that sufficient power to it, and during an update it can get interrupted and therefore corrupt your files and just lock up the ECU. You don't want to deal with any of that. So we're good to go. We're gonna go ahead and start playing with the car and see where we can go forth from here on out. So we'll get back to you guys. Thank you.